Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Hello, early learners. Welcome back to the art room. Let's start our day out with a hello song. Hello, nice to see you, everyone. Hello, nice to see you, everyone. Hello to you, hello to you, hello to you, hello to me. Hello, nice to see you, everyone. I have a few people I'd like to say hello to. Yesterday, I let the day get away from me, and I didn't say hello to my friends in Mrs. Topuzhin's class at Muir Elementary. Today, I'd like to say hello to Andrew and Ariel, Serenity, Brianna. And today's people were Fabian, Zakaya, CJ, and McKenna. So glad you're watching the show there at Muir Elementary in the TK classroom. I enjoyed going to your classroom last week and seeing your art. Terrific being with you. This week we're talking about the ABCs of rain. And yesterday we talked about boots, and that it started with the letter B. Today we're talking about umbrellas, and it starts with the letter U. Umbrella. Oh, hello. And I wanted to tell you the rhyme I thought of was a fella under an umbrella. And a fella under an umbrella means a man or a boy under an umbrella, and that's the art we're going to do today. Let's take a look at our artist today. It's Gustave Caillebotte, and we know him from Paris, a Rainy Day. When we were talking about tints and shades way back at the beginning, the art elements, we made some gray paint and painted him under his umbrella. The interesting thing about this artwork is it looks like it's in a city day, and there is water between the bricks, so you can tell it's been raining, and it looks like a lot of fancy people on the street. But in the background, you can see a man dressed up in his painting uniform, and he's going to be painting buildings, and there's a woman on the corner who has been selling fruit on the corner. So there are people that work in that city along with these fancy people in their fancy clothing. So let's take a look. Our art today is going to be a fella under an umbrella. Let me set this down and get out my little tabletop. Now, to make a fella under an umbrella, we're going to use my background of white paper. I have yellow for his rain jacket, blue for his umbrella, and black for his boots. So what we can do is cut things out, and then I'm going to decorate the umbrella so that he has a fancy umbrella to be standing beneath. So I'm going to start out with my yellow paper and get my glue stick ready to go. I like to have two because remember last week one fell off and rolled across the studio floor. I have a couple of pairs of scissors too. Now to make the raincoat, we really just need a triangle. And I could put a dot here and cut down to the corners. And that's how I usually tell children to do that. But it's kind of hard if we don't leave room where his head would be if it wasn't going to be hidden by the umbrella. So I'm going to start partway in and cut down to that corner. If you feel more comfortable drawing the line, you can do that. I don't feel like it's necessary, but you decide, and then move it over a little bit as if a neck is going to come out here, and do the same thing and cut down to the corner. Now, most raincoats like this, I'm going to even that out a little bit. Boys and girls have to look at it up close. Umbrellas often have a zipper or closures that go across. So I'm going to use my black pen and make a line go down and maybe make some buckles go across. And I might make a pocket where his hand might go. Now I know I'm going to need a place where he's going to hold the umbrella handle, but I want to wait until after I cut out my umbrella. Now an umbrella is shaped like a half circle. So I'm going to go up and almost bump the top with my scissors and go back down to that corner. And I've told you before how I like to first trace it with my fingers to get an idea of the shape that I will do. So I'm doing that. Now watch, I'm going to cut that. Again, if you feel more comfortable drawing it with your pencil lightly before cutting it, you go ahead and do that, because I've been cutting things out a long time and I feel comfortable just cutting it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see one of my sides is a little pointy and this side's a little more curved down, but now I need to make the bottom do this like an ocean wave, because the points are where the umbrella will then have the metal part that has it sticking up, and when you pop the umbrella up. Do you see I'm cutting little mountains out of my blue paper? I start right where I ended before and cut that way. So now it can be put there, and you see how it looks like an umbrella now? I'm going to use my black pen again and find the center at the top and put a little button dot, so that I know where I'm going to have the lines begin and end. So I'm going to put the dot here and I'm going to connect it to that dot. I'll take this one and curve it up and take that dot there. I'll curve this one to that dot. I'll curve this one to that dot, and this one to the dot. Now if you think this looks fine like this, and you'll put it over your fella under the umbrella, you can do that. But I want to decorate my umbrella, so I'm going to move it back over here, and I'm going to reach and get my colored pencils or my crayons. I can do all kinds of things with mine. I have my white pencil. I think might be nice to draw some clouds on my umbrella. If you have a dark umbrella, if that's the color you've chosen, white colored pencil will show up on there. So I'm going to make some clouds at the bottom of my umbrella, because clouds and rain go together. And I'm just adding this to make it a fancier umbrella. Now, I made one for a girl's umbrella, and it was pink flowers, and I had some little faces of kittens on there. You can put any kind of decoration you'd like, because you know what we say about art. It's the artist's decision of what they'll do. I think I would like this too. Make it have a little rim of color and make it look like it has lace around the bottom. And I can do more things on here using light colors again, because you know the light colors are the ones that are going to show up. And I'm going to put a little loop here just to make it have some color. And since it is a curved space, I'm curving my lines across. If I did them in a straight line, it wouldn't look as realistic. And if you want a realistic umbrella, then you will make yours curved also. And then I can just color it in. And if you think that you want to go back and add more decorations to your umbrellas, that's fine, because we want to make sure we put it together so everyone knows what the next step is. And I think I might put some dots down here so you can see the edge of my umbrella. If you liked a background of a different color, that would be great too. I chose white because I wanted everything to show up really well. Now, before I do more decorations, I want to be sure we have the boots to put on my fella under the umbrella. Here's my black piece of paper I chose. It's just a rectangle that I folded in half. And I talked to you yesterday how to make a boot. And it's just a standing up taller rectangle with a rectangle that goes out to the side. So I'm going to cut down, not all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to put the foot part here. I'll go up and make a heel. Now mine is still stuck together, and you'd think when you open it, oh no, I made a mistake, but you didn't. All you have to do is cut it on the fold and cut the two boots apart. Now, are my boots too big for this fellow? I think they are. I think I need to make them a little smaller. So what I need to do is just put them back together, and I'll cut them down a little bit, make them a little smaller boot for my fella under the umbrella. I can go around it and put that looks better. Now, it looks better, I think, if he's walking forward to keep both feet facing the same direction. So let me get these boots on my paper. So remember how we glue things. We always go around the edge to make sure that things won't pop off when you're carrying it around to show it to your family. So there's one boot, and I keep this here so I know to turn it over and then add the glue stick. If they go different ways, it's okay. You would just say, oh, my fellow was just standing there. Now I look at this and I say, oh, it's got to keep the boots up into the raincoat. So I go around the edges of the raincoat using my glue stick and making sure that my yellow raincoat gets put on here. I will go around my umbrella now. I'm not worried if I haven't done all my decorations on my umbrella, because once it's glued on there, I can do it afterwards. There's my umbrella. Now I do need to add his hand holding the umbrella. So I'll put his arm out of that little pocket, and I will put this umbrella, I find the middle, and I go down and come out of there, and I can put two skinny lines, and I'll put his hand around it and let the bottom come out with a little backward J kind of. And I talked to you also about when you're drawing with your black pen, don't use your skinny one to color in. Get a bigger black pen to color it in. That way you don't waste your ink coloring over and over, harder and harder. There we go. All right, I think that my umbrella does need a little bit more decorations. I wanted to say to you about tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be making these hills and darkening sky that follows one of our artists, and it is going to be foil, tempera paint, a paintbrush, and maybe some water to wash your brush so that you, when you change colors, you don't damage the paint that you're using. All right, boys and girls, let's sing our goodbye song. Goodbye, see you next time, everyone. Goodbye, see you next time, everyone. Goodbye to you, goodbye to you, goodbye to you, goodbye to me. Goodbye, see you next time, everyone. Thanks for joining me today, boys and girls. We had a great day with a fella under an umbrella.
Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.